They can't keep doing this to us, right? They can't keep doing this to us, right? Welcome to the PHLY Sixers postgame show live from the Xfinity Lounge. I'm Devon. That's Roy. Bree is here with us, president of basketball operations. All of you in the chat. And the Sixers are 2-0 after two. Count them two, Roy. Furious comebacks in the fourth quarter. Improbable stuff from the 76ers. Before we get started, want to let everybody know once again that we are coming to you live from the Xfinity Lounge, and our show is presented by Crooked Tea. Crack open that Crooked Tea. Put your feet up on the coffee table right now and sit back and enjoy and hang out with us during the post-game show. We're also presented by me and Bree. 2 for 2 for the first two games. Bet 365, whatever the moment for the Sixers. It's never ordinary, and it's never a problem at Bet 365. Team, family, everybody out there. We'll get Kyle Newbeck from the arena a little bit later. We'll get our Diehard video voicemail call in a little bit later on as well. The player of the game that's coming to you sooner rather than later. Roy, a tough win at home where you get a 125-121 win over the Charlotte Hornets, where the Sixers had another bad third quarter once again.
Right.
But despite being down double digits in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes to go, they found a way. Andre Drummond comes in the fourth quarter on the offensive glass, getting the putbacks, getting the tip outs, rebounding the basketball on the defensive end. And Quentin Grimes off the bench, he had it going overall throughout the game, but a big three-pointer with 15 seconds to play to put the Sixers up for good. Another really good, tough, gritty win for your Philadelphia 76ers.
I'm a little stressed out, right? Can we get an easy one? Sixers fans, can we get an easy win? Can we get a win?
The comeback kids, y'all.
Goodness gracious, they got outscored, in the third quarter against the Celtics by 17 points. You got outscored again in this game by 13 points. You had a double-digit deficits in both fourth quarters. I would like a nice game where there's 6 minutes to go. Bree don't have to worry about changing the scripts, changing the graphics. We need a nice game. We can just come in, everything's pre-written, and we can hang out with you guys. That didn't happen tonight. Hopefully we get some of that next week.
No, it doesn't seem like it. But look, they put it together. We'll get to your super chats here as we keep going along. Great Bog is just simply, welcome back, Drum, right? Welcome back, Drum.
Welcome back, baby.
And look, again, his minutes off the bench, 16 minutes, 13 rebounds in 16 minutes, 7 points, 3 for 6 from the floor. His first shot that we saw him take was a corner three-pointer, and we're like, oh, man, here we go again. This game is already is hanging in the balance already. And here Andre Drummond comes here shooting these threes when you don't need that.
Right.
But the work that he did there on the glass and getting them those opportunities, he had 6 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive. He gave them those second chances in that fourth quarter. And with Joel Embiid already at his minutes limit with that restriction of 20 minutes, Adem Bona simply not playing well, Andre Drummond came in, and we have been talking about him quite a bit of how he's fallen out of the rotation. And Adem Bona has taken that spot. Can you see more Bona at the 4 with Embiid because Andre Drummond hasn't played well enough to earn any minutes or the trust from his head coach and his teammates? And he comes out here and he does that, dusts him off in the fourth quarter, and he was just tremendous.
I thought that he might have been a guy just kind of playing out the string, Andre Drummond, right? It's like, all right, he's here, but he's just another body. He's your third center. He came in and had, a fantastic game, like you said, after they dusted him off. Like you can see, and we'll talk about this more, but you saw early in the game, these guards were playing very well when the two-man game with Joel Embiid and Maxey and the two-man game with Embiid and Grimes, Embiid setting those screens, letting those guys go to work. Drummond was doing that in the fourth quarter. Like Drummond was setting those screens, letting those guys go to work, and then again, like you said, crashing the offensive glass. 13 rebounds in 16 minutes, plus 12 during his limited run. Kudos to Andre Drummond. Give me 10 of those games for the rest of the season, and you're well worth your contract.
Yeah, and again, not knowing where the game was going, it was just hanging in the balance there. They're down double digits in that fourth quarter. Ryan Kalkbrenner's having his way a little bit there in the fourth. They're getting to – we were saying it all evening long. There was no resistance at all in the paint at the rim when Joel Embiid was out there. They were attacking him. And we'll get to Joel Embiid because he was much better with his 20 points in his 20 minutes tonight. He was really, really good. It was good. It was encouraging to see that. But Bona, again, not playing well. Dominic Barlow leaves the game with a lacerated elbow. He couldn't be out there. And Walker, just at the 5, it just wasn't going to work with Carpenter there and the activity that was going on there with Diabate at the 5. Here comes Drummond, and he does that stuff that they need him to do. Cleaning up the glass, getting those rebounds. He had one where he missed a free throw. He got a second chance opportunity, but he rushed it. After an and one, he missed a free throw. They got the ball back. He rushed it. VJ Edgecombe rushed it. They didn't get an opportunity to get the putback and put those points on the board. That would have cut it. I think it was either 3 or 1 at that point where you needed everything to count. And when the Hornets did miss, he challenged them at the rim. He made them alter shots. He made them second guess. And when they did not make the basket, he secured and squeezed the rebound. If not, he put a body on his man, allowing others to come in there and get that floorboard. And I know we're starting off him with 6 minutes into the show, and we're giving all this love to Andre Drummond. Well, your starting center, who was playing well, had a minute restriction. He wasn't doing it. He simply could not give them anything else tonight based on what the doctors said. And again, with Bona not playing well, Andre Drummond comes in there in that limited time after not playing in the first quarter, plays that much in the third, and does all of that to help them secure this win. And that, again, that's why we have to tip our cap to him, and kudos to him for being the professional, being ready, and getting out there and doing what he did.
Yeah, I know you guys had a lot of props last year. We need a little drum. We need like a mini toy drum for Andre Drummond today. We got to bang the drum for Andre Drummond because, like you said, didn't play, in the first half, basically coming in cold. After Joel Embiid hit his minutes restriction 7 minutes into the third quarter. He comes in, or 5 minutes into the third quarter, he comes in, does a lot of the dirty work. And you talked about this before, right, before we came on the air. I think it's time to have this conversation about, who's your backup center, right? Like, who's the guy who's going to get those minutes, when Joel Embiid's out. I thought it was going to be a Dembona because he's a high-energy kind of active big. And I know, like, Andre Drummond's only probably going to give you this in spurts, but I think Andre Drummond basically won that job tonight. He should be your backup center going forward.
Yeah, and look, maybe it's situational based on the opponent. You have Orlando, active, athletic centers, the front court players that they do have. Maybe that is a Dembona kind of night.
Right.
But for tonight, Kalkbrenner, maybe not as athletic. He's a little more of a throwback type of 5. But when you have Diabate out there and maybe some of the other young players, that leans more in favor of Andre Drummond. But the fundamentals came into play down the stretch where they needed it. We talk about 50-50 balls and getting the extra effort plays that are out there, and you saw that. And I saw somebody else say that Andre Drummond was like one missed free throw from a bad game. You're probably right.
Sure, I guess.
But he also did the other things.
Right.
We know he doesn't make free throws. We know he's not a scorer. When he got up to the free throw line, I said it to Bree and Roy that, hey, man, he's going to split these, if not miss both.
Right.
And he split them. So when you take 1 out of 2, I'll take that. I'll take that.
If my third string center gives me everything that Andre Drummond gave me tonight, 7 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, like you said, hedging on defense, making sure Sixers weren't getting beat at the rim, I'll take that every night of the week.
Yeah.
Every single night of the week.
Yeah. Let me give you the fourth quarter stats here since we were talking about it. In the third quarter, Andre Drummond did play 3 minutes and 48 seconds, and that three-pointer that we talked about, he was 0 for 1. And in that third quarter, let me see here. In the third quarter, who played? Dembona had 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Drummond, we spoke of. Joel Embiid had 4 minutes and 58 seconds. So he reached his 5-minute cap to get to the 20 minutes. Right. He could no longer play. So when we fast forward to the fourth quarter, which was the big one for the Sixers, 39-25, they win that as they come back. They were down by as much as 10 in that fourth quarter. And when Andre Drummond, finishing the game off with his 12 minutes. He was the only big that played in the fourth quarter. He was 3 for 5, 6 offensive rebounds, 3 defensive rebounds, 9 total, 7 points, 1 personal foul, and 2 steals while he in there being disruptive, getting his hands in there, getting those opportunities for his teammates. So with those second chance points, they had 7 second chance opportunities, and while they were only 3 for 7, they scored 7 points to the Hornets 4. But that's the difference there, where you have that activity. You force those turnovers, 6 turnovers in the fourth quarter to the Sixers and the Sixers were able to capitalize, putting up 10 points off of those turnovers by the Charlotte Hornets. So a lot of that was due to him and what he did. We'll get to Quentin Grimes because his offense was important, but we got to shine a light here on Andre Drummond and what he did in that fourth.
No, and we talk about it all the time. Like, defense leads to offense, right? Like, when you play defense, when you have good stops on defense and you don't give up second chance rebounds, and you can let these guards get out and run and attack, that's how you're going to score. Like, this team is going to get up and, like, they're going to score and win games getting up and running down the court, right? And we saw that again today because Andre Drummond wasn't allowing the Hornets to kind of, getting into their offense, getting second chance points, and he let Quentin Grimes and Tyrese Maxey come back and have huge fourth quarters.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's talk about Quentin Grimes, our player of the game tonight for the Philadelphia 76ers. 24 points, 5 for 8 from beyond, 50% from the floor overall, and he was perfect for a while out there. 4 assists as well, and he had a few moments where we were like, Quentin Grimes, you're doing too much, but the offense had stalled out. The ball couldn't find anybody within the flow of the offense and get some good looks. But off the bench, 30 minutes, 16 seconds, 7 of 14 from the floor, 5 for 8 from 3. He made 5 free throws, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers on the night for his 24 off the bench. He was second in scoring tonight behind Maxey's 28. Another ho-hum kind of night for Tyrese Maxey. Although he didn't play great, he got to 28, and he had big free throws down the stretch for him, got to the free throw line 12 times. Quentin Grimes, our player of the game, rightfully so, hit the big three-pointer with 15 seconds to go, had the guts to take that shot right there, and he nailed it.
Just an absolute, again, this is the ideal Quentin Grimes game. He comes in, has a super hot first half. We were kind of a little bit concerned. I was concerned to see, how Quentin Grimes would respond after the opener. Came in 17 points in the first half. Just an absolute, when that second unit, I'm always worried about the second unit because you don't have a lot of scorers on the second unit. But he came in, had a fantastic second quarter when he scored 11 points. But then down the stretch, like you said, that huge three with 15 seconds to go to give the Sixers, basically the game-winning three, to put the Sixers on top. 24 points, 4 assists, and he's kind of, again, just played within himself, right? Like, didn't do too much, didn't try to do too much. Very efficient. Like, these guards, I'll say all of these guards, very efficient. I mean, they had a couple turnovers today, but again, they didn't kind of go out of their way to force shots, especially Edgecombe, which we'll talk about in a second. None of these guys were forcing things. I mean, there were times where the offense didn't look great, but these guards kind of still let the game come to them. And then at the end of the game, they made big plays to lock it up.
Yep, absolutely. So with him, you look at what he did in the fourth quarter on Wednesday in the opener in Boston, where he was 3 for 4, had 7 points. He hit 2 3-pointers in that game, once again, helping to fuel that fourth quarter comeback after the Sixers have another tough third quarter, down double digits in the game. He carries that over, and he starts off when he gets into the game in the very beginning where he still has the hot hand. 6 minutes, 24 seconds, 2 for 2 from the floor, 1 for 1 from behind the three-point line. Sixers up 36-29. Again, he's a big part of that. In the second quarter, he has 12 points in the second quarter alone.
12? I thought it was 11.
Yeah,
12.
he was 4 for 6 in the second quarter, 3 for 4 from beyond. So again, the hot hand. And I don't know that this is his role going forward. Maybe it is. Most likely it is.
I think it is.
As that sixth man. Jared McCain is not back yet. Again, Kelly Oubre is in that starting role. You have to figure things out when Paul George comes back of what the first five looks like with VJ Edgecombe as that starting 2 next to Tyrese Maxey. But he has certainly, again, found a role as that sixth man where we've talked about where's he best. Is it as a third starter where you have that 3-guard lineup to start the game? Or is he best as a sixth man coming off the bench giving you this offensive punch? And I think Roy's seeing it now play out in these two where they have needed that help. Where, yes, both Maxey and Edgecombe in game 1 against Boston, tremendous with their scoring. But you saw some struggles from the rookie tonight a little bit when it came to the scoring. You saw Maxey where they started boxing one in him with Colin Sexton face guarding him the entire time, denying him the basketball, and you needed someone else to find their rhythm, getting to a scoring role there. And that was Quentin Grimes being able to come off the bench and still be a productive scorer. We haven't seen as much as a playmaker as of yet, even though the assists were there. I just mean more of the playmaking role like we saw from last season where he had a lot of opportunities to do so. And even tonight, where we talk about him as a two-way player and seeing how that factors in with this basketball team, we saw some decent defensive performances from him as well, where he was able to get his hands in there, put his hands in there and disrupt some things. While he didn't have any steals tonight, we saw him moving his feet. We saw him a little active out there on the defensive end. Right. And again, maybe we found that role for him. Well, they have found that role for him as that sixth man coming in and just go out there and you score, you got the green light.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the ideal role for Quentin Grimes on this team. I saw there was someone on Twitter who posted a few weeks back. They said we have 4 guards who can go off for 40 a night. Like 4 of these guys can go off for 40 a night, including Grimes, including McCain. I think it's an asset to have a guy like Grimes and a guy like McCain on your bench to come in to give you that. Again, I'll call it the Vinnie Johnson microwave kind of treatment.
Sure.
Off your bench. I mean, like it's if you were just to kind of slot him in 3-guard lineup and then slot in take out Oubre and put in Paul George, put in Paul George at the 4, probably put in Paul George at the 4, whatever have you. I think you just lose a little bit less offense on that second unit. I think again in that second quarter, and we see sometimes like this offense kind of gets stagnant a little bit when Tyrese Maxey isn't on the floor, and when you have a guy like a Quentin Grimes out there, and you have hopefully a guy like Jared McCain out there, I think you'll still have a guy who defenses have to fear because, again, they can go off and have, like we saw with Quentin Grimes, a 12-point quarter.
So we're going to take our first pause here. Everybody, we come back. We have a super chat from Mark Jackson talking about Quentin Grimes, and I want to throw this at Roy and all of you to respond to what Mark's question is about Quentin Grimes. He had 24 off the bench, but there's a question to that Mark has that is an interesting one that could start a little bit of dialogue as we go along. Sixers with another comeback win, 125-121 over the Charlotte Hornets. Most importantly, though, they're 2-0. Start the season. Stack up those wins, y'all. Stack up those wins as the Sixers improve to 2-0. We'll come back. We'll continue to talk about Quentin Grimes. Others that contribute to this win as the Sixers improve to 2-0. Sunday off, back on Monday to start a back-to-back. Home and away, Orlando at home, Washington away. But first, this win over the Charlotte Hornets. We'll come back. We'll get it all done right here. Sixers win by 4. And another thrilling comeback win. It's the PHLY Sixers postgame show presented by Bet365 and Crooked T. Telling you about them on the other side. All right, Bet365. They got you covered. We have you covered. Me and Bree, we're 2 for 2 these 2 games here. We got you covered. And if you want to get in on the winnings here on the winning side here on the PHLY Sixers show with Bree and I, you got to sign up to become one of the 90 million users worldwide. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. You had a 50% profit boost option for you through the first 10 days of the NBA season. That's right there only at Bet365. And if your team goes up by 20 in any game, everybody, you get an opportunity to get an early payout offer if your team goes up by 20 at any point of the basketball game. And breaking news, everybody, new customers can get $300. Yes, count them, $300 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Win or lose, sign up using the code PHLY365, deposit 10, place a bet for $5 to get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Sign up once again, PHLY365, must be 21 plus and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and you want help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Also, Crooked T, our other presenting sponsor here on the show. Crack open that Crooked T, everybody. Put your feet up once again and sit back and relax and listen to the PHLY Sixers postgame show. As the Sixers get a win, everybody's got their favorite hard tea. But after a tough win where you're sweating, you're biting your fingernails, you don't know what to do, you're walking out, you're pacing, you got to turn the can and read what's in it on Crooked Tea because it has some great ingredients for you. So while you sit back and celebrate on the weekend, you still feel good. You can't do all that and worry about what you do with these other cans because they just simply don't have it. And while you're at it, hide what's inside. The Crooked Tea brags about it. Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor with 0 sugar, no fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. Next time you're at the store, flip the can. If you can't find the ingredients, then you know what that means. Put it back, everybody. Then grab a Crooked Tea, 0 sugar, real tea fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Real recognizes real, so why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea, the only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com to find a store nearest you. Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers postgame show. Sixers are 2-0 after another win, close win in the fourth quarter, 125-121. Man, whew. I was sitting there, folks, and I'm like, Roy, Bree, it's a loss. Let's write this stuff up. It's a loss.
God bless all the beat writers out there who had to cover this game tonight.
Yes.
Because you had to write a win and a loss game story for this one. Because it was in the balance for quite some time.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Oh, man, it was a tough one to sit back. I was a pessimist. I wasn't optimistic in the fourth quarter.
Got our faith.
And here they are saying, take this. As they come back and win. All right, Bree, let's get to Mark's super chat here. Mark Jackson, our good friend. Mark says, is it me or am I the only one who thinks QG, Quentin Grimes, was gunning? Then Grimes' minutes was bad overall.
Bad.
He did hit a great shot. Credit to Maxey for passing it, but his minutes felt rushed. He was like a -12 at one point. Mark, thanks for the question. Not a bad question.
Not a bad question.
Because we said it. He did not have a great overall game.
Right.
But in the fourth quarter when they needed some points, and especially on that shot to have the you-know-whats to take that shot, and he gave him a 3-point lead, and in the end they came back and they won it. What do you think about Mark's question?
I'll say this. I will say the offense does look a little off when Maxey's not out there. It looks like a little forced. Like some of the guys, like Grimes, I don't say Grimes especially, but I think Grimes, is one of the guys who kind of forces things a little bit when Maxey's not on the court. And quite frankly, I mean, I understand it because Tyrese Maxey's not on the court. But to say the minutes were bad, I think that's stretching a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
To say he was gunning, I don't think he was gunning. I think he was just a guy who was feeling it. What was he? 50% from the field, 55% from the field. I think took 12 shots, 14 shots. I don't think he took over. Like if you're taking 20, 22 shots, and everybody else had 15, I'd be like, all right, he's gunning a little bit. But I think he pretty much took things in the flow of the offense. So I don't knock Grimes too much for what I saw tonight.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, Mark. You're probably right that he was gunning. But oftentimes in the role that he is in.
Right, like who else is taking these shots?
That's what you're going to get. He has the green light. He's an offensive-minded player. He can play defense and he can pass. But I think in this particular role right now, Mark, especially with no Jared McCain, where's the other scoring coming from outside of Tyrese Maxey? Right. Joel Embiid is already on the bench. VJ Edgecombe is having a tougher night than he did in game number one. And you had to find scoring elsewhere. And I think with that gunning or without that gunning, you might not get the win tonight. And that's what the role was asking of him tonight. So, Mark, fair question, but I think that's what they were asking for him. Not to miss, but to get good shots with the gunning, unload that clip.
Right. Here it is.
But a good shot.
Tyrese Maxey, 7 of 20, had 2 points in the third quarter. VJ Edgecombe, 6 of 15. You need somebody to take some shots, right? Like if those guys are off, if those guys are shooting below their averages, why not Quentin? Quentin Grimes is the next best guy. Joel Embiid done with his minutes restriction. I have no problem with again, if it's your job, like you said, if it's your job to take these shots when your team needs buckets, and you're not again gunning everybody out of you're not freezing everybody out of the offense, which I don't think he was doing, then I don't see any issue with Grimes tonight.
So what do you think his role should be going forward?
This come off the bench, give me some buckets. Like I want Quentin Grimes to come in late first quarter every game, be that guy to kind of hold the fort down. When one of the other guards is out, give me 10 points in that first half, so that so the house doesn't burn down when your starters are out. And then again, if you need him to come back to close games out like you did tonight, to come back and be that same guy. I think that's the Quentin Grimes role. Give me 16 points a game, but again, more importantly, just kind of be that steadying influence on offense when things kind of get weird when the starters go out.
Yeah, so I think I agree with you, and I can't wait to find out when George and then McCain come back also, and even Watford for that matter.
Yeah.
And you saw where they missed Watford a little bit tonight, where they had to juggle the lineup a little bit, with Walker having to overextend himself a bit. Barlow gets injured. Where do you go? Kelly Oubre had to play the 4 at one point when it was Bona at the 5.
Right.
So I can't wait to see what it looks like when they come back. Maybe Grimes doesn't have to be that microwave type scorer, that gunner that Mark is asking us about, if Quentin Grimes is in that role with those other players, where he can also be a facilitator out there. McCain has it going. Paul George is maybe looking for him to be a little bit of a scorer out there. He's more of a distributor and all of that. So when they get their full complement of players back, Mark, I'm very curious to see what the role is best fit for Quentin Grimes in this. But in 2 games, while he only had 10 points in game 1, he had the 7 in the fourth quarter helping them win. Mm-hmm. Tonight, he had 24 off the bench, 7 for 14, but he was perfect early where he kept them, helping them push that lead that they had early on. I mean, he was gunning. And look, there's a lot to pick at when you have a third quarter. Yeah, keep taking shots. There's a lot to pick at when you have 2 third quarters where you're outscored by both the Celtics and the Hornets, and you have to come back the way that they did. There's a lot to pick at, including the gunning from Quentin Grimes. But when you get the win, it's easier to talk about those gunning situations. How can we fix this? Right now, you'll take it as it is because of the fact that you got the win.
You raise a good point, though. Like, this is going to be Quentin Grimes' role tonight and the next couple of nights isn't going to be the same, or shouldn't be the same as it is when Jared McCain and Paul George is back. Because when those guys are back, you're going to have, again, at least 6 guys who can kind of, put the ball in the basket. You'll have different lineups, right? You'll have lineups where you're probably going to have at least 3 of those guys, or 2 or 3 of those guys on the floor at the same time. So you won't need him to, quote unquote, gun in those situations when he's playing alongside Paul George or McCain or whoever it is, in that second lineup. So yes, you are right. Like, maybe he was gunning tonight because he had to with these guys. I don't think he's going to be in the spot where he's going to have to be asked to take 20 shots a night because he's going to have other, I won't say complimentary because I don't want to say he's a primary scorer. He'll have other scorers on the floor along with him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's keep it going here, and we talk about those guys also. You got help too from Justin Edwards. You had to dust him off too because of the fact that once again Dominic Barlow goes down. You have to extend it a little bit. Walker starts the third quarter because Barlow is down with the lacerated elbow, and Walker has some good moments, also has some bad moments. But then Justin Edwards, you needed scoring. You needed somebody to hit some outside shots. And while I was questioning the decision to go there, dealing with the hip, he was questionable throughout the day. Nick Nurse said before the game that he's looking forward to giving Justin Edwards the opportunity to go out there and play because he still has belief and trust in him that he can play the way that he believes what we saw last year is what you're going to get from him. We were doubting him after game 1 because we felt like he just didn't look himself. He didn't look himself all preseason, and it allowed Barlow and Walker to come in and take those minutes and really thrive in those minutes, pushing him behind them in the depth chart. He comes out again tonight, though, does not play in the first half, plays in the second half, hit some big 3-pointers, and even when he was rising up for those threes, we were looking at each other collectively saying, what is he doing? And then he knocks those down. We have to give credit to Justin Edwards.
Yeah, kudos to Justin Edwards. Again, coming off the bench cold, having the injury, was it the rib soreness or whatever it was, but, before, coming into this game. Didn't expect a whole lot. Again, you've seen, the other guys play pretty well. Dominic Barlow playing pretty well this first, game and a half of the season. So didn't expect much out of Justin Edwards, and he had those 3 big threes. Like, he had a couple of, questionable, fouls later. He was fouling guys 35 feet away from the basket, which you never like to see, but he played well. Again, these guys, guys stepped up. They had to, you had an injury with Dominic Barlow. You had guys step up. Andre Drummond stepped up. He did, played out of his mind tonight, and you had Justin Edwards, doing the same thing. So kudos to these guys for being ready in the moment. That's the key. These bench guys, with this rotation, you never know when you're going to be called on necessarily to step up. Those 2 guys were called up, because of the injury, and they both played pretty well tonight.
I like the fact that he still had the confidence to take those shots. There were some deep 3-pointers as well. But once he made the first one and he looked like he was in a pretty good rhythm of shooting the basketball, I give him credit for still lining those up and taking those shots. He got into it a little bit with Colin Sexton, so he showed some toughness there where Sexton had a really nice game.
Yeah, he did.
But
very nice game.
But he was stepping up with the challenge there, both physically and also just simply with his play by rising up for those shots. Putting the ball on the floor a couple times, I questioned that because it didn't look like the handle was tight enough tonight. But I give him credit for, once again, when his number was called, he was ready. And I give him that credit as he finished. How many minutes did he play? 12 minutes and 29 seconds, and he was 3 for 5 from three. All 5 of his shot attempts came from behind the three-point line, and he made those 3-pointers. He had 4 fouls because, again, he was a little too handsy. He was a little lazy on some of those.
Move your feet.
Yeah, move your feet.
Right.
But, again, everybody's still trying to find their way. It's still very early, and credit has to be given where it's due, and I do give him that credit.
So what is Justin Edwards' role on this team? I guess when everybody's healthy, because I don't know, to be honest with you, because
it's just simply, are you part of the 10-man rotation? Can you crack the 10?
But is he going to be part of the 10?
And when we went over this before, he was not part of the 10.
Right.
Yeah, because Barlow, even if Barlow is starting or not starting, let's just run it real fast.
Barlow's
Your first
in the
5
10.
is
Right.
Maxey, Edgecombe, George, Oubre, and Embiid.
Right.
Your next 5 is Grimes, McCain,
right.
and then you have and Barlow, Bona or Drummond.
Right.
Yeah, so that's 5. And then if Watford is healthy, that's your 10.
Right.
So where does he fit into there?
Right.
Well, if a team, I saw somebody say we have really good depth, as they're saying in there. Now, I'm not saying we, I'm saying what the comment was, we have some really good depth. Yeah, you do, and that's a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about being ready. When your number is called, being ready.
Just be ready.
Come in there and don't be a negative out there on the floor. Tonight, for the most part, he wasn't a negative because he did knock down the shots. Again, defensively, he had some troubles because he did get himself in some precarious situations.
Mm-hmm.
But the shot making will also keep him on the floor, and it did.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious because, again,
I think he's right outside of it.
Right.
But it's the regular season. You can go 11, 12 deep.
Yeah, like before the season, I thought, Watford lock, like in the, I thought he was going to be your power forward probably coming in the season. He got hurt. Dominic Barlow played fantastic. I told you before, he's one of the better offensive rebounders we've had on this team. It feels like in quite some time. So when you have a Barlow playing well, you can't, you have to give Barlow minutes, right? Like Watford probably before all, his injury probably was the winner of that power forward kind of, showdown, whatever have you. So he's going to get minutes. So I just wonder where Justin Edwards kind of fits in this whole situation. But you're right. It's kind of a, 11th man, 12th man, just be ready. Because again, you'll have issues where some of those guys will have bad weeks or some of those guys will get into foul trouble and you need to come in just like you needed to come in tonight. Just be ready and, make the threes when you need to. Roy,
be ready. We're going to take a quick break, and you need to be the phone finger. Tell everybody. We got to tell everybody. Make sure you like it. Like the show right now, everybody. Not enough. Thank you. I see we still have some decent numbers. We need the like button. That like to go up a little bit more. Second pause of the show. We take a quick break. We come right back, and we keep it going with praise for a lot of guys. Tyrese Maxey. And we got to talk about VJ Edgecombe. Game number 2 wasn't as explosive and as history-making as game 1, but he did some good things in here, did some things that you see rookies do. Mm-hmm. Hit the like button. We'll come back as we take this quick break, and we'll talk about Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, what they did contribute in the win, and what we need to see better on Monday. Sixers win, a close one once again over the Hornets. Whew. Man, take a deep breath, everybody. It's Saturday night. You're all good. Get some crooked tea. Put your feet up. Relax. Watch the postgame show. Hang out with us right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. Folks. Man, again, simply going through this whole thing and looking at the Sixers team, giving us all these problems. But one problem that you did not have here tonight? Your watchability, because Xfinity had you covered as you watched the game. Normally, you're talking about, oh, man, I don't want to go over Mark's house tonight because Mark's place as I'm pumped to watch basketball. Is the setup good enough? Total mess? I don't know. You don't have to worry about with Xfinity. No lagging and buffering. When you have to deal with Xfinity, no worries at all. If you call yourself a basketball fan, you got to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best game and my favorite teams all in one place right here. And the way to watch it, it's next level right here in the office, in the studio as we watch the game. It's the perfect fan flex. I've got all the action right in my living room or here in the office, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear It feels like I'm in the arena. It took me right in the arena as those big shots were happening. Sometimes I've got 4 games going at once because why not? We have multiple TVs. We can do that. Not a problem at all. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box. And also, I got to tell you about my good people at Rothman Orthopedics. As soon as my man Dominic Barlow went down, you know what? Let's go to Rothman. He and Brandon Miller. Got to make the call to Rothman Orthopedics because they have you covered with whatever services are needed for you at Rothman Orthopedics. They have been my orthopedics place of choice because of my injuries, whether it's sore knee, stiff shoulder, and any laceration that you might simply need to go and get checked out. You got to go to Rothman Orthopedics and get it checked out. Their team of specialists treats all kinds of orthopedic issues from everyday strains to long-term joint pain with care that's efficient, effective, and close to home. Close to home for me because even dealing with the knee and my Achilles, I had a little question and I needed to check in with my surgeon to make sure I was still good to go and get out there and play. Sorry, Al, I had to make the call. And my surgeon was right there for me when I needed to just simply reach out and find out if I was good to go to play. So don't let Kane keep you sidelined. Schedule an appointment today at RothmanOrthopedics.com/PHLY. Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility, their mission. Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers podcast here at PHLY Sixers. That's Roy. I'm Devon. We'll check in with Kyle in a little bit from the arena. Bree is here doing a great job from these studios here. All of you there in the chat. Let's get a super chat in here, Bree, since we have so many of them. Let's go to Marcus Blackstock. Can they cut the Jabari Walker experiment short now? LOL.
Wow.
Was it that bad?
Two games? 2 games. Jabari Walker, he got thrown in the deep end of the pool a little bit tonight. You know, he was kind of flailing a little bit, had to throw him a little life preserver. Didn't have the best game tonight. I will agree. I don't think we need to cut the Jabari Walker experiment. Let the man have a couple weeks. Let's see what we got.
Couple more? Let him go?
Let him go. Let him cook a little bit.
I mean, look, you know.
Hey, we'll find out this week, right? Like if the elbow injury is an issue for Barlow, we'll find out about Jabari Walker pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, Monday. Yeah, it's a quick turnaround right there. Marcus, I think that tonight just a little bit got in the way of him, as you said, overextended just a little bit. Just a little bit. We've seen him play better. I'm willing to, based on what this is the first time in 4 preseason games and 1 regular season game, excluding tonight. Well, he's had 5 good games where I've said I like what Jabari Walker has done. And he played 14 minutes. He won't play 14 minutes all the time.
Right.
His minutes are probably 10 and under. And if he can give you positive minutes in those 10 and under, I think you'll get what you want, Marcus. But I think that he's earned the right from me and Roy, at least, and Bree, to say that I'm not going to overreact just yet. Not just yet. Super chat from Jay of the Jungle saying, like and subscribe, everybody. It's free.
It's free.
It is free. Everybody, free from me. Hit that like button. We really appreciate it. All right, let's talk about the backcourt. Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe. You got 43 points from those two, 28 for Maxey and 41 plus minutes, 15 for VJ Edgecombe on 6 for 15 shooting, and just under 40 minutes. What did you make of VJ Edgecombe? Start with him, 15, 6 and 8. So he did other things while the scoring wasn't there. He contributed in other areas.
So we talked about in the pregame, right? Like, you know, you don't have to necessarily force your shots if they're not necessarily there. You know, if your shot isn't there, you know, try to create for your teammates, grab rebounds, you know, like just do things, just be in the right spot. I mean, I think we saw early, you know, in this game, you know, Edgecombe and Maxey just kind of get everybody involved. So we'll talk about Joel Embiid in a bit, but trying to get everybody else involved, get their offense involved so that everybody can kind of come together and play pretty well. And you saw in the first half, 19 assists on 22 made baskets by the Sixers. And that's kudos to Maxey and Edgecombe just trying to play a complete team game tonight.
All right, now give him this. He had 2 turnovers where he had
2 turns.
You know, where I thought they were in bad spots where he was trying to do too much. But overall, 3 steals to go along with those 8 assists and 6 rebounds.
Right.
Wasn't in foul trouble all that much. While he had 4, it was never one where you had to worry too much about his availability on the night. So I thought even though the shot wasn't falling, you still saw the activity, the movement, and the passing that helped him out tonight. So Mark said it. He questioned about Grimes' work. And also he did say he still loves Grimes. He was just wondering if he was gunning tonight. He loved the game that VJ Edgecombe played despite it not looking as explosive as it did in terms of the points
Right.
on Wednesday, he still played a really good game tonight.
Yeah, just kind of play within yourself. Again, like you saw, Tyrese Maxey, fantastic first quarter. Joel Embiid, got off in the first quarter. Just kind of play your game. Just find your role. I mean, like if Joel Embiid, obviously the clear goal for tonight, at least the initial goal for tonight, was to get Joel Embiid kind of going early, right? And we saw Joel Embiid kind of get going early. And when that happens, again, your job as BJ Edgecombe and everybody else on the floor, it's just to do the ancillary stuff. Just do the other stuff to kind of keep the offense running while Joel Embiid can kind of get his sea legs back under him.
Yeah, especially when Barlow does go down and you need somebody else with that activity to do the little dirty work.
Right.
Walker in and out of the lineup. It wasn't really there. Edwards picking up these silly fouls even though he's making shots. BJ Edgecombe did some good stuff there.
Yeah.
Even when we talked about Drummond missing that one putback, he was there.
He was right there.
To also put that ball back. He missed it, but again, the activity and the liveliness of it, really bouncy still for BJ Edgecombe. Tyrese Maxey led the team in scoring once again. What did you make of his night? Once again, not a 40-point night, but the guy scored 68 points in 2 games, and he hit some big shots early. Colder a little bit later, saw a different defensive look that threw him off a little bit, couldn't get a good rhythm, but he made his free throws. He was 10 for 12. He missed one that I was disappointed in that second half, but 10 for 12 getting to the free throw line. They got into the bonus pretty quickly, and he took advantage of those.
And again, this is like to your point early in the pregame show. After you score, 40 points in the first game and Edgecombe has 34, you're going to see different stuff defensively, right? They're going to throw different things at you where you're not going to be able to kind of, attack the basket like you want to or get the looks at three that you want to. Tyrese Maxey persevered, again, had a really good first half. Only had 2 points in that second half. But again, when his shot wasn't falling, he was still trying to facilitate, trying to make things happen for other players. So kudos to Max and kudos to Edgecombe. I was a little concerned kind of coming into the game because of the length of the Hornets. Like the Hornets, they don't start, usually they start at Sexton tonight, but in game one, they didn't start anybody less than 6'6". So they have a longer lineup, typically if Sexton doesn't start. So I was a little concerned about these guards being able to get their shot off against a longer Hornets lineup, but these guys still came in and delivered tonight.
Yep, absolutely. Phil W. checks in. What up, Phil? Says, what happened to Barlow? Laceration
elbow?
Of the elbow. Yeah. And with that, he could not continue. It was wrapped up on the bench when he was sitting there. So
maybe that's why he had that awkward looking 3-point corner three.
Nah, because it looked that awkward in Boston too. So, so no. All right, look, final break, everybody. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get our diehard video voicemail from who is it, Bree? Who we have for the diehard video voicemail? Gene checking in. Gene Ross checking in, and we'll also get hopefully a check-in from Kyle. A lot to do at the arena for Kyle. Derek's off tonight, so a lot of one-man work there from Kyle Newbeck. Nice. If we can get him tonight, we'll get him in, but we'll definitely get Eugene's diehard video voicemail. When we come back, Sixers win a close one once again, but they're 2-0. If you look over Roy's shoulder right there, everybody, over the left shoulder on your screen, his left shoulder, but you're right on the screen, you'll see the red and the blue back there. If you haven't noticed, that has been the countdown of the start of the season, and the record, every time it happens, Bree adjusted, it says 2-0 over Roy's shoulder. That's because they are 2-0. Your Philadelphia 76ers. It's the postgame show right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. All right, folks, we've been telling you about everybody, all of our great sponsors here on the show, all of our great friends, and Elkins Chevrolet. So, look, they passed this one off to me because it was just really simple because I'm the one that drives the Chevy here of the group. So why not pass it off to me? Well, listen, hey, sports fans, you know who's playing championship level? Car dealerships. That's where every single day in Elkins Chevrolet, right off of Route 73 South in Marlton. It's a 3-man team of Jason, Adam, and Josh, the brothers, in-store daily, calling the plays and delivering wins. No fumbles, no drama, no turnovers, just a hometown squad with a deep bench of Chevys and prices that'll make you cheer. They'll call it honkin' good service, everybody. And trust me, it is a slam dunk. So if you're scouting for a new Chevy or pre-owned MVP, make your next move Elkins Chevrolet like I have. And I love mine. When it's time for a new one, I'm going right to the team, the 3 brothers right there. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. Shop now at elkinschevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. be like me. Drive that Chevy. It's a pretty cool car. Even my daughter has a Chevy because we like them so much. And also, we got to talk about the jewelers. The holiday season is coming up. And fellas, we all know the feeling. Ladies as well. You walk into a jewelry store trying to pick out something for your significant other, and suddenly you're in over your head. And you're thinking, what's the difference between all these diamonds? Or what if she doesn't like it or he doesn't like it? Well, it can be stressful. You don't want to feel stressful with this. That's why working with Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design has been such a game changer. These guys make the whole process seamless from the minute you walk in. They treat you like family, and you know we're big on family. They actually listen, help you figure out what they'll love, and then their team helps design something completely custom right there in-house. So no pressure, no pushy sales vibe. Next time you need that perfect piece, go see Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design. 30-plus years in the game, voted Philly's #1 jeweler year after year. Over 1,000 five-star reviews speak for itself. Check them out today at BucciJewelers.com and tell them the guys at PHLY sent you. Welcome back to the PHLY Sixers podcast, the postgame show. Everybody here hanging out after another victory. Bree, let's get to it. It's the voicemail time. It is the diehard video voicemail right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame show. And tonight, our diehard, no one other than Gene Ross. What up, Gene? What you got, man?
Guys, it's Gene. I'm at the game right now. It's 2:34 left, 115, 116. Just a quick overview of what I've seen tonight from up here in the Revolutionary Row. I'm up here with Kobe and Wilt. They need to play some defense. This is crazy. They need to play some defense. But I'm still letting y'all know it's still 99-0. Whether they win or lose, it's still 99-0. So we'll see what happens. Go Sixers.
Appreciate it, Gene. Live from the arena.
Like it.
He's got another one, Gene, with two of them. Let's go. Keep it going. This must be after the win. Let's go, Gene.
Hey, guys, just letting y'all know, it's Gene. What's up? 99-0. Grimes just hit that three to put us up 122, 119. I need them to play 14 seconds of defense, and we win this game. So 99-0, go Sixers. Thank you guys for all you do. Love it. Hanging up and listening.
Appreciate it.
It wasn't even over. It wasn't even over. It said 122, 119. He wasn't even over.
But he needed him to play some defense.
Yes.
He needed him to play some defense.
Oh, my
the
goodness.
defense has not been great. We've talked about that.
No.
Gene, thanks for that. We appreciate it. And we got to go here. What do you think about the defense? Because I was saying to you and Bree as the game is going on, man, we haven't talked about Embiid, and we will get that. We're going to do that with the temperature check, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Both he and we talked about Justin Edwards. We'll do a temperature check on how you feel about Joel Embiid. But we said this about the defense. Man, they're just going right at him.
Yeah.
Man, they're just going right at him.
Dude, Colin Sexton, my goodness, man. He literally looked like he was playing to get his starting job back. He looked very good attacking the defense. And we were talking before the game about the over-under total. I'm like, these guys, if LaMelo Ball gets 4 threes tonight, then this game is going to go over 240 points because, the Hornets are going to have a ton of looks. They had a ton of clean looks at three. I can't count how many open shots these guys had at three. They really need to figure out how to do a better job closing down on shooters because the Hornets had a ton of great looks tonight.
We were sitting here like, why is he so wide open?
Wide open.
Why is he getting
Miles
to the basket so
wide
easy?
Open. LaMelo Ball, wide open.
Oh,
Colin
man.
Sexton just driving right to the basket. It was unbelievable. Again, Andre Drummond stifled that a little bit, but there was a run, especially in that third quarter. It's like, good Lord, these guys are getting wide open looks all the time. Like, something has to give.
It had to,
Lord.
man. So they have to tighten up on the defense. They're playing with house money right now. It's still early, so plenty of time.
Just keep stacking these
to
wins,
fix this.
But
this
you gotta fix some things.
Yeah, but
it's
look,
like the Eagles, right? Like there are issues. There are issues with this team that we recognize and that we admit to. However, wins are wins. I will take them.
You take them.
I'll take them.
But you have some things on film that you need to watch.
Gotta watch some film
and tighten up here.
Gotta watch some
and
film.
part of the defense is that needing to be tightened up, man, because yes, the defensive problems
Goodness gracious.
have shown themselves a bit in these first two games where some really good shooting performances, especially in the third quarter, where they have to come out of the locker room and be much better in those third quarters, because that's why they've had to put the pedal to the metal the way that they've had in the fourth, because they've gotten themselves down so much. Yeah, we need four full quarters here, or at least 3 or 4.
You want a Philadelphia sports team to play 4 quarters?
I'm asking for it.
We haven't seen.
I'm being greedy.
Have we seen any Philadelphia sports team play a full game over the past couple of months? Eagles, Sixers?
Nah.
I'm not asking for much. 48 minutes. 48 minutes. That's all we're asking for.
I hear you. All right, let's get to the Ace Hardware temperature check. The Ace Hardware home services. To visit them, to get your services online, acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. Temperature check on Joel Embiid, 20 minutes and like 7 seconds tonight. But he had 20. 7 for 11 from the floor, 3 for 6 from the floor, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 4 turnovers on the evening. He made those 2 threes he made 2 threes in the first quarter, 2 for 3 for 9 points, kind of setting the tone early that he was active, he was back and all of that. What did you make of Joel Embiid's performance as we temperature check his outing versus what we saw from the 4-point performance against Boston on opening night?
Oh, clearly a much improved performance by Joel Embiid. You talk about his first run in the first quarter, 9 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, and that 54-minute run in that first quarter. And in that first quarter, we talked about it before. Ryan Kalkbrenner, he was getting close to barbecue chicken level because Joel Embiid was about to, could pretty much had his way. Had Kalkbrenner in foul trouble pretty early in that game. I feel a lot better about Joel Embiid because there were 2 things I wanted to see from Joel Embiid, at the end of this game. One, to kind of just get him in the offensive flow early, and we saw that, with those 9 points, those 2 threes. But 2, just to kind of see how he can facilitate and help the guards get easy baskets, right? The 2-man game with him and Maxey, the 2-man game with Quentin Grimes. And we saw that stretch in the second quarter where Quentin Grimes had those 2 3-pointers within a span of 30 seconds with him and Joel Embiid kind of playing that 2-man game. If Joel Embiid's playing that game effectively, with Maxey and with Grimes, alongside getting his own basket, getting his own shots, that's the perfect encapsulation of the Sixers offense. So we saw that in spots tonight, and I feel pretty confident going forward.
You can still see he's finding his way.
He is.
Figuring it out with that leg, how to play on it, how to still be effective, what he can do. He's going to play against better centers. I like Kalkbrenner. Gene likes Kalkbrenner. Bree likes Kalkbrenner. We've talked him up during the draft process. He's going to have a really nice career. He's not Nikola Jokic.
He's not.
Nor is he Miles Turner and some of these other more active, athletic, not Jokic's athletic, just more of Jokic's Jokic.
Just going to be,
Yeah, he's going to have his moments where he has his good ones, he has his bad ones. He's still trying to figure it out. Good minutes, some bad minutes. More good on the offensive end, more bad on the defensive end, where Joel Embiid has never been one where defenders have said, I'm attacking him.
Right.
And they attacked him. And they were positive finishes for those teams. And we need to see a little bit better of how he does it, where saw a few of them where he put his arms up, made them adjust, good defensive performance. Others where they just simply put their body into him, faded a little bit, but with a scoop layup or runner where they finished it. And it's early. He's still trying to find his way. So just as much as he is trying to find his way, we are still trying to figure out when he is at his best in this new version of Joel Embiid. So not great, but better from what we saw, especially offensively, where they needed every bit of the 20 that he gave in that 20 minutes, because when he was off the floor, while Drummond gave you good minutes, we don't know if it was going to be a plus the entire time that Drummond was out there because Bona was there early. He wasn't great. Drummond came in, filled that void, and he was really good. We're all still trying to figure it out with Embiid what this version of Joel Embiid looks like in this new way of Embiid.
Yeah, it was 73-73 when he checked out in the second quarter, in the third quarter. So tie game when he checked out, like you said, and Bona came in, and then things kind of went to hell a little bit in that third quarter. We still need to figure out, I think, with Embiid, offensively. We talked about this in the pregame show. I still want to see Joel Embiid kind of get in the weight room a little bit, like kind of get in that low post and kind of go to work. Because again, to me, Joel Embiid has some of the best footwork in the NBA. And you got a guy like Kalkbrenner. I mean, like that's a guy you need to take to the basket every single time when you're matched up on a one-on-one. And defensively, to your point, we see some of the the straight up, like I guess I'll call them passive contests where he kind of like raises up.
Yeah.
We need to see more of that active stuff. Because again, you would see Joel Embiid, fly in, with the block, stuff like that.
If his knee can handle it,
right,
though.
if his knee can handle it, right? Like I would like to see more of that, ideally. Because again, he was one of the more, the better defensive centers in the NBA, just being active, near the rim. We haven't quite seen that this year, and hopefully we can get a little bit of that in the next few weeks. But we'll see how his body responds.
And also, I thought he was good early in setting that tone because he got Kalkbrenner in foul trouble fast.
Right.
He got him out quickly there because of the fouls that he was able to commit, and that's where he looked like Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
So we can see that more, where he's real deliberate with what he's doing offensively, but also just simply being careful of how he goes about his business on the defensive end while still being effective. That's our temperature check, our Joel Embiid temperature check with Ace Hardware. Temperature check, visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get started on your next project. All right, let's get to our Super Chats. We're running up against it here on the show. Doubt that we get Kyle Neubeck tonight just because of that. So let's get to the Super Chats here. I'm sorry? Oh, okay. So let's get to the Super Chats. Thank you, Bree. All right, the haiku is from Skunk Riley. What up, Skunk? This haiku is titled Hallucination. I never do drugs, but I dreamt Drummond saved us. Should I seek out help? Haiku from Skunk Riley after the good Drummond minutes. Thank you, Skunk. Pretty good one there.
That's a good one.
No drugs. You didn't need drugs. Drummond played well tonight.
No. We're all sober. We saw that. It was all, no drugs for us tonight.
No drugs. No, all clean. Everybody's all clean. You're all good. Thank you. Appreciate that one. Jay of the Jungle. Justice for Kelly Oubre. Not a bad night. He had some Kelly Oubre moments where you're like, the Jekyll and Hyde Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I thought Kelly Oubre played a pretty decent night tonight, finishing with 19, 7 for 10, 2 for 3 from 3, hit some solid threes, really good rhythm threes in 37-plus minutes. Kelly Oubre, 19, it was a quiet 19, though.
Plus 18, yeah, very quiet 19. Plus 18 in the box score, yeah, kudos to Kelly Oubre. Nice game for him tonight.
Yeah, so justice for Kelly Oubre, Jay. You're not wrong. Pretty good minutes from him. Mello, my man, Mello 3 points says I'm okay with Embiid on a 20-minute restriction for 65 games.
Ooh.
I need to up that 20-minute restriction a little bit.
Yeah.
And only if we have a night like tonight where he's playing well, and you extend it to maybe 27, he can give you 30 minutes based on how he's going. He's pacing himself, Mello, my man. But, yes, you saw what he did, 20 and 20. And if he had played a little bit longer, maybe it was a little bit more, maybe worse. But you got the 20 out of him. He almost hit that 20 in the first half because he was
15.
rolling. He was playing well.
Yeah.
But he played in that third quarter, got a few more in. I'd like to up it a little bit more, but based on the flow of the game and how he's playing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, I don't think you want to ask, Andre Drummond to do this 65 games. Andre Drummond played fantastically for the 16-minute run he was in. I don't think he's going to be able to give you what he gave you tonight for 65 games. So you're going to need someone like Joel Embiid to be in there in the fourth quarter to kind of, be that guy, because it doesn't seem like Dembona is that guy. So, yeah, I 25, 28 minutes, I think that's probably the better number.
Appreciate that. All right, we have 2 more Super Chats. We'll get to those once we finish up talking to our teammate live from the Xfinity Mobile Arena. He's checking in with us from the arena. We'll see what things look like down there. Kyle Neubeck on the Xfinity Mobile Arena, live from the arena after another really good comeback by the Sixers, where it was another good comeback. Maybe they didn't need to do that, but the third quarter was what it was. But Kyle, Andre Drummond, Quentin Grimes really helping to fuel this comeback in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I was blown away by the Andre Drummond part of it, right? Because at least in Quentin Grimes' case, he had that big first half where I think he was, 6 or 7 from the field, 4 or 5 from 3. And in the second half, only hit the one shot. So it was still a little bit surprising that he hit the game winner or the shot that put them ahead for good. Drummond coming out of cold storage and completely flipping the game, I would not have guessed, right? And I give him tremendous credit for not just coming in and playing, coming in 15, 16 consecutive minutes to close that game out. just the conditioning that it takes to do that is really impressive. And Drum talked about that in the locker room just now after the game tonight and said, look, like, I got in better shape this summer. I ran more. He said fewer cheat days, right? Like there are times in the summertime in your off season where you say, hey, look, this is my off season. This is when guys get to enjoy themselves. And he cut down on what he said, some of the finer things to be ready for when he was coming into the game. And we also heard guys from Justin Edwards tonight after the game. And Justin, who hit a few big shots tonight, also having some conversations with him on the sideline regarding, hey, look, you can't get trapped in the mindset of you're out of the rotation and you're not playing right now. And when your number's called, when it's your time to come in, you got to be ready, right? And so Justin gave him big credit after the game as well. So not only did Drum play well on his own, he helped Justin get some, his first good minutes on the floor in a while.
Yeah, veteran leadership from Andre Drummond. Before we get to Roy's question, we want to let everybody know we're in overtime right now here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. We thank everybody on the television side. Continue watching at allphly.com for Kyle's hit from the arena.
Kyle, was there any thought from Nick Nurse to kind of bring Joel Embiid back at any point in that second half? Like he checked out 7 minutes ago in the third quarter. Was there any thought at any point where to kind of maybe bring him back in that fourth quarter, or was just Drummond just playing too well?
Well, no, because the minutes restriction, he was up against it, right? And Joel actually talked to us immediately after the game, which I think you guys know is not common. His time, and the one benefit of this minute restriction right now is we get to talk to him almost immediately game end. And Joel said I think he prefers the way they're doing this with the minute restriction in terms of they're kind of playing him normal shifts and then his game at any other way, right? Like if you're doing 2 and 3 minute shifts to extend him into the fourth quarter and just play more of those. He said, you don't get into a rhythm and you get up and down the floor a few times and then you're out. And he doesn't think he can be effective that way. He actually joked, he's like, I might as well stay home and be with my family at that point. And so this is just kind of, until he gets a clearance or word from the medical staff, like, hey, we can bump this up to 25 to 30, whatever it is. This is what it's going to look like. I know he's advocating to play more, but it kind of is what it is for right now.
And when you look at Joel Embiid, Kyle, what did you like, though, from him? We talked about it before you came on, of how we like the offensive side of things, especially getting Kalkbrenner in foul trouble early, knocking down the threes. But defensively, it was a bit of a not much resistance because the Hornets were attacking him like we've never seen Joel Embiid attacked in his defensive prime.
Yeah, I saw exactly what you guys saw, right? I love the fact that he got more paint touches and paint shots tonight. He was the aggressor against the younger big, including in transition, right?
Yeah.
One of the sequences I really loved was, I believe it was Kalkbrenner's second foul with it was probably like 4 minutes into the game, right? He ran the floor in transition, and VJ Edgecombe, remembering the old adage of if the big guy runs the floor, you got to get it to him, dumps it off to Joel. He drives into Kalkbrenner, picks up the second foul. So there was some stuff there that I liked, right? Like a little more mobile. Obviously, he had all the pick and pop shots tonight, which sometimes that's what it's going to be for him, right? He's a Brook Lopez-esque in that way, right? Some of these games, it might be he's going to get up a bunch of threes, and if he hits them, great. If not, his line's going to look a little shaky. But yeah, the defense in space right now is not very good. And while he had some moments, there was a really good rim contest he had late in the first half. I think by and large, either he wasn't jumping or in other cases, he just wasn't back at all, right? And so the ability to close ground and the willingness to close ground need to improve as his conditioning picks up and he plays more minutes because they need him back there. They need the presence that he brings at the rim.
Kyle Neubeck joining us on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line as the Sixers win tonight. Another close win in the fourth quarter, winning over the Charlotte Hornets with a final score 125-121.
So, Kyle, 2 games into the VJ Edgecombe era, 15, 6, 8 assists tonight. Good stat line, but shot didn't fall quite as well as it did the other night. Any word on VJ Edgecombe, like his thought process after a night like tonight?
Yeah, we talked to him in the locker room, and he was happy with the win. Look, it was one of those games where I think that was probably more what I expected to see from VJ early in his career, where you see the athletic flashes. You see he had, what do you have, 3 steals on top of
Yep.
all that too, Roy, I think.
Yeah.
And all the things you see, like a guy who's a winning player shows up, like even after that poor shooting night, he has a big basket in the final few minutes of that game that they needed every point they can get at that point. So clearly good head on his shoulders, great competitor, great athlete, all that. But the handle let him down at times tonight. I thought there were moments where he tried to take off from too far away from the basket and had some trouble finishing in the paint or around the rim. Didn't get a lot of 3-point opportunities, right? So can't really ding him for, what was he, 1 for 3, I think, by the end of that game. So not a whole lot to talk about there. And then defensively, I think tonight was where you saw, okay, there is a jump in competition that he has to deal with, right? There were moments where Sexton was able to get into him or go by him. Concanipple even had some moments, right, where he got VJ leaning one way and then he gets to a stop and pop 2 from around the free throw line. Like, was in foul trouble at the end of the first half. He's aggressive, so that's going to happen from time to time. So very much a mixed bag. I think the way I described it in my recap tonight was it was a good game for a rookie. It was not a good game overall. Like that's kind of how I look at it. If you can impact the game in as many ways as he did, that's great for a young player, but plenty of things for him to clean up and look at on the tape.
Final one, Kyle, 2-parter. Number one, the Dominic Barlow, if you have any update on the elbow, and also Tyrese Maxey, while he had a fantastic start, finishing with a game-high 28. The defensive coverage was a little bit different in the second half, where it seemed like, at least television watching back here, when we want your thoughts on a lot of face guarding from Colin Sexton, somewhat like a boxing one type of defense. What did you see in that, and the update on Barlow?
So as far as I know, Barlow's going to be fine, right? It was a bad cut, but it's ultimately a laceration. So unless there is something that I'm unaware of right now, I think that's probably just this game and no more than that type of problem. I saw a lot of what you guys saw in terms of how Maxey was defended and how the game unfolded. I think the thing that I really liked as that game came down the stretch, he really willed himself to the free throw line.
Yep.
Right? Like the beginning of the game was a barrage of threes, step back jumpers. He had a nice mid-range pull up along the baseline out of like a spin move at one point in the first half. And then you're right, like they mixed up and played some more exotic coverages against him, try to keep him off the ball. Their offense went astray for a little while there. And then they were able to get him into some actions where, again, they're getting him moving before he gets the ball in many cases. And he was using that speed that he has with purpose, right? And leaning into guys with his shoulder, initiating the contact, and forcing the officials to make a call. So I thought that was a really inspiring moment, right? Because I think largely the fan base impression is he doesn't get the whistle, he doesn't get calls. And I think sometimes that's true. That's true in moments, but he's got to do himself more favors. He's got to lead with physicality and play in the way that he knows how to. I thought he did an excellent job of that down the stretch. So while he didn't get to make the like big kind of highlight plays for a lot of that stretch run, I thought what he did was really important in the same sense that like when a football team is setting up the big highlight and the home run play, sometimes you need just a 5-yard run, 5-yard run, like get some first downs. Tyrese was getting them some first downs, and then ultimately Quentin Grimes gets to come in at the end, and that's the deep shot touchdown to win the game.
Big shot, big win for the Sixers as they improve to 2-0. And Kyle, they keep having us biting our fingernails and screaming and wondering what's going on, but they find a way in the fourth quarter to come back, and they are 2-0 to start the season. Next up, the Orlando Magic, front end of a back-to-back on Monday. Kyle, thanks so much, man. We'll see you once again from the arena on Monday for postgame as the Sixers host the Orlando Magic, and then we'll see you back in the studio on Tuesday as the Sixers travel to Washington to take on the Washington Wizards. Man, thanks so much. as always, be safe and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Kyle.
It's our first back-to-back of the season too, boys. So gotta rest up tomorrow and get ready.
Yes, indeed. Kyle Neubeck joining us on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line, and we appreciate Kyle for checking in, hanging out with us following this Sixers game. Let's get to the other super chats here that we had left over from Riaz saying, Devon, what up? Great win, down 5 guys. When do you think we will see Joel finishing games in the 4th? Can't wait to see us at full health. Honestly, Riaz, thanks for the super chat. I have no idea.
It's a very good question.
I have no idea. I would imagine it's as they start to continue and to give him the a longer leash of now from 20 to 25, 25 to 30, and then Nick Nurse really knows how to
divvy those minutes up.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's hard to divvy up 20 minutes and give a guy an extended run in the 4th.
Yeah, you're not going 5-5-5.
No.
And 5.
Yeah.
Because the body of the middle of the game is just too important.
Right.
And you need him to actually help you extend the lead if possible.
Yeah.
And if you're down, for him to help you come back. So I just think Riaz, as they continue to up his minutes, that's when we'll see him in the 4th quarter and Nurse allowing him to be in the guts of the game when they need him. Yeah. Thanks for the super chat, Riaz. Mark, once again, Roy, I ask you this one. What was the best lineup tonight? I'll give you mine.
Maybe the guys who closed the game. I got it. Andre Drummond was just so good at the end of that game.
So do you go Drummond or Embiid at the 5? Because Kelly played well enough where you have to put him in
Kelly,
there.
Yeah, Kelly played well.
So is it
Quentin played well?
So
Maxey played well.
Yeah. So is it like a 3 guard with the Kelly Oubre at the 5?
Yes.
I mean at the 4, and then you just have Drummond at the end.
Yeah. Give me those closers.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me those. Give me that line.
Is that because they closed the game out?
Because they closed the game out. Yeah.
Either way, it's the 3 guard lineup.
Okay.
It's just, was it the Oubre at the 4 and Drummond, or was it? I think I have to agree with Oubre at the 4 and Drummond at the 5 because Barlow was good while he was out there.
He was out there, but he wasn't out there.
Yeah, but he wasn't out there in the end. And then it also wasn't the 4 guards. It was Kelly Oubre out there with Barlow. So I would say the best that we saw was probably the closing.
Yeah.
Easier was with Joel Embiid out there.
Sure.
I think the best was that 5 that you gave.
Yeah. Tyrese Maxey, 12 points in the 4th quarter. We talked about Andre Drummond and nauseum, Quentin Grimes at the big shot. I think that's the lineup. But
see, also that 5 though helped them build that double-digit lead that they had.
Sure.
Sixers were up 12.
Yeah.
But Grimes, I think that was also when Grimes was in the game early because he played well and he got that first quarter was 12.
Yeah.
And Grimes played 6 minutes off the bench in that first. That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
But Grimes was so good in that first.
Yeah.
I want to say when he made his substitution in the first quarter that I would probably lean.
The title of this is Drumline, right? Or was it Drum? What is it?
Drumline, yeah.
Drumline, whatever we call it. Like, it's got to be Drummond. It's got to be. Tip your hat to Andre Drummond. Bang the drum. We need a drum. Next time I come in, I will bring a toy drum for Andre Drummond. Hopefully he's still playing by then.
All these gadgets and gadgets that we have around here, and we don't have any drums in the studio. So, all we have is this. There you go. Got the bell. We'll get to that when we wind things down. Great Bogus with the late super chat. Was there an update on Barlow's injury? Great Bogus, we appreciate it as always. We just asked Kyle about this. Said as far as he knows, nothing extra, nothing new. It looks like he will most likely be back and available for Monday's game against the Orlando Magic, we think. All right. Whew. Another sweat. Let's finish this one out 125-121, but they are undefeated.
Undefeated.
2-0. Last season, these were losses.
Yeah.
These were losses.
We've seen this Sixers team lose these 2 games. Like we saw that Boston game, when Edgecombe missed those 2 free throws at the end of the game, Sixers fans probably had PTSD from all the 57 games like that they've lost over the years. They won that game. And they won tonight. This is a new era.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so, because we can't continue to do what they did last year.
I can't.
We can't do that.
I mean, maybe you can.
No. We can't do it. All right, folks, we're going to get ready to wind things down here. The show, as always, we're coming to you live from the Xfinity Lounge. We thank We thank Roy for coming in and starting the home games off for us. We appreciate it. Thank you, Roy. Bree is great as always. And asking, hit the like button.
Hit it.
Hit the like button, everybody. We're at 198.
Ooh, almost there.
We're almost at 2.
Almost at 2.
So by the time we finish, can we get to 210? I just want 210. Can we get to 210 before we wind things down? It's time for the world famous. It's the roll call, everybody. Yes, Gene, thank you. Gene with the roll call, live from the arena with the diehard voicemail call-in. Thank you, Gene.
Gene giving up the sauce, though. I got a problem with Gene. Gene was calling in from Revolutionary Row. That might be the best spot to watch a game in the arena. I love Revolutionary Row. I don't want people to know about Revolutionary Row because it's awesome. Gene, you got to stop giving up the sauce, but thank you for checking in.
Give up the sauce, man. Welcome everybody into the area. All right, let's get to everybody. Marcus Blackstock on the Super Chat. Thank you, Mark.
What up?
Mark Jackson. Many messages in there and the Super Chats. We really appreciate it. My mom is in here. Hey, Mom, get some rest tonight. We appreciate Mom. We got Vino Wines checking in with free sandwiches.
Ooh.
I am hungry.
I thought it was wine. I thought it was wine. When he said Vino Wines, I thought it was like wine. Give me some free sandwiches and some free wine. Let's do that.
Whatever you need, but the sandwiches I'm with. We're hungry.
I'll take whatever.
It's late at night. Philly Dell, what's happening? Philly Dell, Riaz, we thank you as well. Jay of the Jungle, Tom Jackson, Brian Knight. We also had Say What? Say What? What up?
What?
Really appreciate it. We also had in here. I saw Futz. I saw Ed King.
I saw Winona in there.
You saw Winona. Hey, Nona.
Nona's in the building.
Appreciate it. Kevin Hips says Maxey is a gunner.
Is everybody a gunner? Maxey's job is to take shots. What are we supposed to do?
Got to score some points, man. Yeah. Got to get those in there. David Hensel. What up, Dave? We see you in there. Great Bogus. Joaquin from Cherry Hill. We also had in here Doug Craig. Who else did we have in here? I didn't write everybody down tonight, but I'm scrolling through. Phil W., Josh checking in with us. Benjamie. Overall good game, but with some work to do.
Got some work to do.
Fair point. Mello, my man. What up, Mello? 3 point. We got, who else we have in here, Bree? Ron. What up, Aaron? Al, the 2-minute warning. What up, Al? We see you as always. We appreciate it. Doug Craig, we already said. Doug, Elaine Bruno. Sixers for life in there. Steve Paul. I never say SB Cole.
SB Cole.
Yeah. All the folks in here. Who do we have in the Super Chats, Bree? Win Forever. We appreciate Win Forever as well. Skunk Riley, Jay of the Jungle, Great Bogus, Mello, my man, Mark Jackson, Jay of the Jungle, Riaz, Marcus Blackstock, Mark Jackson, Great Bogus, multiple Super Chats in there. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it.
Look,
Sean Havern.
We hit your number. We hit the number.
We got the 210. We had 216. So get to 230.
Why not?
Why get to 230 as we get ready to sign off? Solomon Leach,
Hit
Philly 4 for 4. We said
it.
Nona already. We have Riaz. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Saturday night. We really appreciate it. Sixers make you sweat. Sixers make you walk around and pace in your living room and go outside and get some fresh air during halftime because of everything that's happening within the game. But you hung in there, you stuck in with them, and then you made your decision to hang out with us for the rest of the night on a Saturday night when you could have done anything tonight instead of hanging with us. But we really appreciate it. Sixers win 125-121 back-to-back starting on Monday where they have 2 games home and away. Magic and Wizards will be with you for both of those games right here on the PHLY Sixers postgame. Bree, I don't know what time those games start, but we will be here either 6:30 or 7 for the pregame coverage. Come on and hang out with us, everybody, on Monday and on Tuesday for the Sixers' first set of back-to-backs for the season. We thank Kyle Neubeck for joining us from the arena as he gave us all the great insight from the arena. We were presented by, as always, letting everybody know, our good people from Crooked Tea. Pick up your Crooked Tea at a store nearest you. And also Bet365, where Bree and I are 2 for 2. We're spending our earnings somehow this weekend, right, Bree? We're doing something, or we're just simply getting ready for this.
Just stack them like these wins.
NFL Sunday,
just stack
baby.
them up.
NFL Sunday, the Birds, 1 o'clock. Make sure you tune in the 12:30 for the pregame show with Bo and Jamie, halftime coverage and postgame, Bo, Jamie, and Vinny as the the Eagles. No A.J. Brown.
No A.J. Brown.
Getting ready to take on the Giants. Revenge.
Ooh.
Revenge.
Ooh.
Against the New York Giants. Make sure you're here right on PHLY Eagles for all your Eagles coverage tomorrow. Roy, my man.
Thank you, bro.
Always.
Give me some of that.
My guy, hanging
go.
in there, as always, stepping in. We will see you on Monday. Bree, great job as always.
Thank
you
you,
know
Bree.
we love you, Bree. Thank you so much, President of Basketball Operations, for doing a great job. Make sure you like and subscribe to the show. When you do, you get the alert and the bell icon letting you know that it is showtime right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. For everybody here, Roy, Kyle, Bree, I'm Devon. We'll catch up with you. And Derek. We'll catch up. And Rich. We'll catch up with you on Monday right here for pregame. Sixers at home hosting the Orlando Magic. They're 2-0. Will they improve to 3-0? Let's talk about it. Pregame on Monday right here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. Good night.
We all silly like the mayor.